We have a voicemail number. That number is 219-2-David-P. Here is a voicemail from someone who seems to have a misinformed right-wing friend. Let me put it that way.
Hi, David. Garrett here. I love the show. Keep up the great work. Anyways, a Republican friend of mine said that Trump is leading the polls 40 points ahead of any Democratic candidate. Is this true? Also, do you think it's a realistic possibility that Democrats may lose the House in November? Should we be concerned about that? Thanks.
So on the second question first, Democrats are widely expected to maintain their control of the House of Representatives in 2020. If that changes, we will have new forecasting for you. No, Donald Trump is not leading every Democratic candidate by 40 points. In fact, he's losing to every Democratic candidate. He's losing by the largest margin to Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. But Michael Bloomberg, I believe, is also leading Trump in hypothetical 2020 matchups. What I will say is I question how much those hypothetical polls are worth right now. But your friend is wrong either way. There is no factual basis that would suggest Trump is leading anybody by 40 points or even 4 points in national hypothetical matchups, where it starts to get dicey and we have to look more at the details. And this is why blanket saying anybody beats Trump in November or simply saying only my candidate beats Trump in November. The reality is that November is likely to come down to some key states. And when you look at some of those key states, including states like Wisconsin, for example, in hypothetical head-to-head matchups between Trump and the people vying to be the 2020 Democratic presidential nominees, those numbers look okay for Trump. And when you step back and say, well, we saw in 2016 that Trump can lose the national popular vote by 3, but still win the Electoral College, that's when you have to start and think, maybe it doesn't matter that Trump's losing to Bernie and Biden by 4, because if it tightens to just 3, that could be accurate. And yet, if Trump does okay in Wisconsin, whatever those other key states are, Trump can still be reelected. And that's why I don't know how much we should be necessarily talking about and thinking about the race in the context of those hypothetical matchup polls. I actually tweeted last night, I don't believe, a lot of people regularly tweet me. They say, David, only X can beat Donald Trump in the fall. Bernie supporters will say only Bernie can beat Trump. Some Biden supporters will say only Biden can beat Trump. Yang supporters still say Yang shouldn't have dropped out because only Yang can beat Trump. Tulsi supporters will say Tulsi must stay in because only Tulsi can beat Trump. I don't think that's true about any of the candidates. I believe this election is fundamentally going to come down to, does the Democratic nomination process do self-inflicted damage? For example, a very ugly convention, candidates attacking each other in ways that will lead to depressed turnout in November. That is question one that will determine the outcome in November. Number two, what is the perception of the economy? Notice that I don't say what is the actual state of the economy. Perception is all that matters. Is the economy perceived to be doing well? It is very difficult historically. This is just the facts. It's very difficult historically to knock out an incumbent president running for re-election when the economy is perceived to be doing well. If the stock market is up and unemployment is down, that is perceived to be a pretty good economy, even if for a lot of people, stagnant wages, underemployment, we know, I'm not arguing, I'm saying the perception is what matters. I think that is fundamentally what will determine the results of November. If Democrats don't self-inflict damage in getting to a nominee, it is going to be about who chooses to go out and vote, what is the turnout, and what is the perception of the economy at the time. Tell me I'm wrong. I would love to hear from you. On the bonus show today, New Yorkers are dealing with day one of the statewide plastic bag ban. We have a new image of Earth's new mini moon, not mini Mike, mini moon. And 2 women in Boston have been charged after police say they attacked a woman and her daughter because they overheard them speaking Spanish. Very ugly stuff from here in the city of Boston. All of those stories and more on today's bonus show. Don't miss it. Become a member or a patron to get instant access.